Hey guys, so sticking with our theme of asynchronous JavaScript, today we're going to have a look at promises. So what is a promise? Well, the same as in real life, a promise represents the eventual result of an asynchronous operation. So you could promise someone that you're going to cook the dinner, and you're either going to resolve the promise by cooking the dinner, or you're not going to resolve it by not cooking the dinner. So let's represent that in a function. So we have a function called cookDinner. This function is going to return a promise. And this promise takes a callback function with two arguments, resolve and reject. So now that we're returning a promise, we have to fulfill either resolve or reject. So we're going to make a variable called isOven on. For now, it is on. And if the oven's on, we want to resolve this promise. We're going to resolve it with a message. We're just going to say, I cooked the dinner. Nice and proud. So now, what can we do with this? Well, we can call the cookDinner function, and this is going to return a promise. So with this promise, we can chain another method on. We can say then, and then takes a callback with one argument, resolved. But you can call this whatever you want. And this resolved is going to match whatever we resolved the promise with. So if we console.log resolved and save, when we run this, we can see I cooked the dinner is printed out, because this is what we're resolving the promise with. To make this a bit more realistic, we're going to set a timeout. Of 2 seconds. And we're going to put this check inside the timeout. Cool. If I save and run, we can see after 2 seconds, the promise is resolved, and we get this message printed out. So this is a bit more realistic to what you'd be using promises for in your code, for asynchronous operations. So now that we've had the resolved state, let's look at the rejected state. So if we turn the oven off, we need to cover that here by rejecting the promise. I did not cook the dinner. Nice. So now we have to chain another method on here called catch. And this catch is just going to catch the reject. Same as above, takes a callback function. This time we're going to call it rejected. We're going to print that out. Save. The oven's off. And when we run this, in 2 seconds, we can see I did not cook the dinner because the promise was rejected. So what else can we do with this? Well, we're going to write another function. We're going to call this function wash dishes. This function is going to return a new promise again. Again, given a callback function with two arguments, resolve and reject. This time, washing the dishes is easy, so we're just going to resolve this promise straight away. Nice. And now that we've saved that, we can actually chain another then onto this. But before we do that, we have to return this promise. So we can say return, or return a call to this function. And the call to this function will return a promise. So that means now we can chain on another then, give it another callback function with resolved. And now we can console.log resolve. So this is called promise chaining. So we're cooking the dinner. Whenever that's resolved, we're returning a call to the wash dishes function, which resolves another promise, and then we're printing that out. So let's turn the oven back on and see if this works. So after 2 seconds, I cook the dinner, and then I wash the dishes. So now that we've covered promise chaining, let's look at something else. So we can do something really cool. We can put these function calls into an array. We can say const promises equals cook dinner and wash dishes. Now we can say promise.all promises dot then, and again another callback function, resolved, and if we print out the resolved this time, you're going to see something pretty interesting. And I forgot to write log here. We save that and run again. We can see after 2 seconds we get this array. I cooked the dinner and I washed the dishes. And this array is just an array of the resolved that we got. So this promise.all is going to wait for both these promises to resolve, and then it's going to go in here. But how does this handle rejects? Well, we can try it out. We can add a .catch. Again, give it the callback function. Rejected. We can say console.log rejected. If we save that, turn the oven off, clear, and run again, we can see after 2 seconds we just get this one I did not cook the dinner. So this catch fires whenever the first promise is rejected. So no matter what happens with the rest, if one of them is rejected, then we're going to go into the catch. And we only go into the then whenever all promises in the array have been resolved. So that's promise.all. We can do one other thing. We can say promise.race. Give it the promises again. Say .then. Give it a function. And resolved. Console.log resolved. And we'll turn the oven back on. And if we run this, we can see I wash the dishes comes up straight away. And this is because this promise is resolved first before cook dinner, because we have this timeout in cook dinner. So promise.race goes into its then as soon as the first promise is resolved. What if the oven's off? If the oven's off, this promise won't resolve. But this one, this wash dishes promise, will resolve quickly. So if we run this, we can see I wash the dishes is printed out straight away. So that was just a quick demo of promises in JavaScript. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask in the comments, and I'll see you next time.